You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Neri here from Drakewing Gaming, and some of you may on Twitter the Gaming Dragon today. I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Chord Progressions. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alrighty. Can you take Eddie to Palos Gordos? Oh, hell yeah, I love Palos. Daryl then looked perplexed. Just Eddie though? Aren't you coming? He's the only one on break. I'm here until he gets back. Oh, okay then. The Lion looked a tad uncertain. April's really putting him on the spot. Dude, don't be awkward. Eddie needs a new friend since he's new in town, and last time I checked, you could use some new friends too. The Lion went on quite a facial journey in response to that statement. First he looked indignant, ready to try to fire back with a quip, but then he looked a tad dejected. I guess he realized April had some sort of point. He directed his gaze towards me and gave me a half-hearted smile. Okay, sure, we can get some Palos. He shuts off the amp, unplugs the guitar, and passes it to April. She takes it in her paw. See you guys in a bit. She departs to put the guitar back in its proper place. Let's get going. It's just across the street. We can walk there. Sounds good. We crossed the street and successfully trekked to Palos Gordos without incident. We made it there without conversation either. I really couldn't think of anything to say to the Lion. Now we're here, though. I can at least get the ball rolling by asking about the place. So, what's good here? Well, they have all the Southwest-type food you'd expect. I'd say go for a burrito or a burrito bowl. They prepare the chicken in a variety of ways, so you can pick out what you like. The worker behind the counter took our orders when it was our turn and turned in line. Daryl was ahead of me, and I carefully observed the way he ordered and followed suit. You start with a plain dish with rice, beans, and protein. Then you work your way down the counter, progressively adding toppings at each of the stations. Oh, so it's Chipotle. Really neat concept. We never had anything like this in my hometown. We both completed our orders, paid for our food, and found a booth by one of the windows. I let Daryl lead the way, as he was my chaperone in this new Palos Gordos journey. The booth he chose was a considerable distance away from the other patrons. A very fine choice in my opinion. We parked ourselves at the table on the opposite sides. I unwrapped my burrito and he removed the lid from his burrito bowl. He also ordered a side of tortilla chips. He's using them as a vehicle to carry small bites of his burrito ingredients to his maw. We both took a few bites and sat in silence. Silence is starting to get awkward. It seems to be happening a lot between the two of us. I get quite anxious in moments like these. My mind just freezes up and I remain silent. So, where did you and April's girlfriend live before coming here? He asked me between bites. He reached in his chip bag for his next one. A little town called Fairview. Oh, where's that? It's a couple hours north. It's a bit of a hick town. Ah, okay. But really familiar. I don't go north too often. Were you up in the mountains? Oh yeah, the house I grew up in was built on the side of a hill. That thing's really boring. Couldn't go anywhere without a car. Yeah, I bet. Guess he's a city boy and can't relate to my struggles. Maybe I should get confirmation on that assumption. How about you? Have you been in Douglas your whole life? Born and raised. My brother and I grew up here. It was a real cute and quiet town when we were kids. But 20-some years of urban development later, this place is pretty lively. Really? I haven't really had much of a chance to explore yet. Oh yeah, the downtown area has been hopping for the past few years. Lots of cute new local businesses, lots of art and music, plenty to do. That's nice. I'd definitely be a chance for me to change of pace for me to blah. Let me drink my coffee, y'all. Drinking this shit straight black. I don't often do that. Sometimes I do. That's nice. It'd definitely be a change of pace for me. I'd love to see it. For sure. April, Pat, and I can totally take you and April's girlfriend downtown one night. We can hit some bars or something. Wow, never done anything like that before, but it does sound exciting. Mariah would definitely agree. Yeah, that could be fun. He beamed a smile at me. The conversation has been going well so far. My stress levels have died down now that I'm more comfortable. It's becoming easier to conjure new topics of discussion. So, you mentioned your brother. Do you have any other siblings? Nah, just Vin. Unless you want to count my soon-to-be sister-in-law, Haley. The widest smile I've seen from him yet envelops his face. There's also my baby niece, Rhea. She's 6 months old. Aw, that's a pretty name. Isn't it? I get to see her every day since we're all living under one roof. My parents asked them all to move into our place so they could help raise her. Vin and Haley still work, so it just made sense. In this economy? Not surprising. Yeah, there's something really special about that little girl. Here, let me show you. He reaches into his pockets to pull out his phone. He presents his phone's lock screen to me. There she is! Isn't she so precious? He continues to impress me with just how much wider his smile gets. His eyes are absolutely beaming with pride. The image shows a jubilated Daryl with baby Rhea in his lap. She's a precious little lion cub with the sweetest smile. I genuinely can't decide what's cuter, this lion cub or Uncle Daryl's obsession with his niece. You two are so adorable. Ha, thanks. I tell you what, this little girl's been my whole world since the day she was born. Dang, he's really obsessed. Come to think of it, I didn't even ask him about his niece and nephews. He just brought her up in conversation right away once she became tangentially relevant to the topic of discussion. That said, if I had a precious little bean like Rhea in my life, I'd probably be obsessed too. I'd be the best gay uncle if given the chance. Too bad I don't have any siblings. He sets his phone face down on the tabletop. But anyways, that's enough about me. Didn't mean to dominate the conversation. Sorry. How's your first day going? Pretty well, actually. I like Chester a lot as a boss. The work's been tough today, but not unreasonable. That's cool to hear. Yeah, you actually helped me out earlier today. Huh? How? Well, a customer came in to buy a guitar, and after you taught me what pedals are and how they work, I was able to upsell him one. No way! That's awesome! Glad it was helpful. Yeah, you definitely were. Thanks for that. Coffee time. Okay. Yeah, no problem, I guess. At this point, I realized Daryl had blazed through his meal. He spoke a lot during our conversation. How the hell did he eat all that and still manage to talk as much as he did? How'd you like your burrito, by the way? Good, isn't it? The quality of the food isn't anything to write home about. I really enjoyed what I was eating, though. This is nice. The ingredients taste pretty fresh, and there's a lot of flavor. I think this is going to be a nice lunchtime staple for me. Oh, for sure. I'm actually super jealous of you right now. He takes his last few bites. Man, that absolutely hit the spot. Tip for the next time, though. Think about getting a burrito bowl instead of a burrito and a tortilla. Chips are free, and you can dip them in your bowl. It's like extra value. Value, you say? Now you're speaking my language, lion man. I sure do like value. I'll keep that in mind. Daryl disposes of the empty cardboard bowl and plastic lid into the chip bag. He picks up his phone and takes a quick glance at the screen. Well, I think it's time for me to get going. My shift's starting soon. I don't want to be late again. Sorry, I gotta leave you hanging. Damn, I was hoping to spend a little more time with this guy. Listening to him ramble about his niece was so adorable. Not to mention this line is quite easy on the eyes. Not sure if he'd ever go for a guy like me, though, or if he even goes for guys in general. My gaydar isn't really picking up any signals. It's okay, I'll wrap up and head back to the shop. It's probably almost time for me to get back to work anyway. True. Well, I'll see you around, I guess. I come in the shop often, so you'll see me again at some point. For sure, take care. Daryl scooched himself out of the booth and stood up with his trash. You too! He discards his waste and walks out the front door. Out of the window, I see him cross the street and get back to his car at a brisk pace. Hopefully I didn't make him too late. He's nice. Handsome, too. It's so sweet he fawns over his baby niece. But here I am. Left alone again. Set down my unfinished quarter of my burrito. My appetite's disappeared. I shouldn't eat any more anyway. Maybe if I weren't so fat, I wouldn't feel like this. Or maybe if I weren't such a creep, I wouldn't be so lonely. I've been spending all day gawking at men like they're pieces of meat. What's wrong with me? Ugh, no! Snap out of it! I still have a whole workday ahead of me. There's no time to wallow in self-pity right now. I need to head back. I walk back to the shop with a little instant aside from keeping the nasty thoughts at bay. If I can just keep myself focused on work, it becomes much easier to just shove those negative feelings aside. I don't know if this is the healthiest way of dealing with them, but it works. Hey man, sometimes you just gotta do what works. I entered to the front door and find April bored at the counter. Hey, I'm back! Cool, go find Pat. He's next for break. I give her a quick nod and embark on my new task. I mosey to the dining room and find Pat still behind the register. Hey guys! Hey guys! Hey, hey dude, where'd you go for lunch? Palos Gordos. It was good. Never had anything like that before. Really? It's a common restaurant chain. How haven't you had it? I mean, my hometown is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Jeez, didn't know it was that bad. He turns to address Dave. I'm getting ramen. I'll be back in a bit. Alrighty, drive safe. Pat waves and briskly walks into the kitchen. Dave turns his attention towards me. Is it busy out there? Out in the front of the house? No, not really. Oh, good. Want to try operating the register until Pat gets back? Sure, I'll give it a shot. I get behind the counter, assuming Pat's previous position. Dave comes up behind me, putting one paw on my shoulder and bringing his face close to the side of my head, leaving me with little personal space. His free paw is poking the touchscreen of the point of service. So, it's real simple. He starts poking at the screen to navigate through the user interface. Just select the items the customer wants from the index, then everything you selected are all put in the cart. Once all the items the customer wants are in the cart, hit the cash out button. Then you swipe their card and take out their cash, or take their cash. He's softly speaking directly in my ear. His volume and proximity are giving me a peculiar sensation. It's a tingly sort of feeling, a good tingle. If you got any questions, you just ask me, okay? Yeah, sure, thanks. He gives my shoulder a tight squeeze. You're welcome, buddy. You're gonna do great. Dave returns to his station. Customers approach soon after. One by one, I was able to log their orders and process their payments. The user interface is incredible. As I take orders, several prompts are displayed that simply guide me through the process effortlessly. With each purchase, a receipt printer by Dave's workstation prints out the order for him to review. Dave and the customer receive a unique order number on their respective receipts. Dave prepares their meals and calls out the order number. The corresponding customer will then retrieve their food. His workflow is something to behold. He expertly dances back and forth between the flat-top grill and the espresso machine, completing each customer order with a fluid elegance. Looks like he can handle all this all by himself. Doesn't really need Chester or Pat around for this low volume of customers. Speaking of, where is Chester? When business just starts to slow down enough for us two to catch our breath, I pose the question. Hey, where's Chester? Oh, he headed out not too long after you went on break. He'll be back in a few hours. Is he running errands or something? I reckon he might be. On days when he both opens and closes, he likes to take long breaks in the middle of the day. He'll run a few errands, but he spends most of his time at the gym. Makes sense, need to maintain those muscles somehow. Yup, he's real serious about it, always wanting to get bigger all the time. Meanwhile, I like my method of getting bigger. He gives me a devious grin and slaps his plump belly. Not gonna lie, I was slightly aroused by that. Luckily, a customer comes by to interrupt further progression of my naughty thoughts. Just like with the depressing thoughts, I can drown out the horny ones by fixating on work. At around 2:15 is when I notice a real tone shift with the patrons of our cafe. Coffee time. God, I probably should not have just drank this straight black. Had to live with it, though. Before, the folks frequenting the restaurant were looking to get a quick morning or early afternoon meal in and out. However, now we're starting to get a lot of folks who are lingering and socializing, mostly young people, seemingly younger than me. At this point, we're mostly selling pastries and lattes, perfect after-school snacks. Folks are now coming in large groups, ordering and sitting together. The cafe now became a bustling social venue. These kids are quite nice, they're polite, and really seem to respect our space. Dave's familiar with a lot of them. Some even introduced themselves to me and were excited to see a new face working at their favorite hangout spot. At around 3, we hit a hard lull. Dave approaches me. Hey, bud, I think it's time for you to get back out front and get some training with Pat like we planned this morning. I'm thinking about starting to close up soon. Closing now? No, but it's nice to get a head start. While you're out there, ask April if she can come back and help me. Gotcha, I'll go find them. The vibe out here definitely changed as well. The space has transformed into a social atmosphere like it did in the cafe. Folks were lounging on the furniture found around the store, conversing with one another, many with instruments in paw. Guitars, basses, drums, keyboards, all being played by masters and amateurs alike. The noise of all of it together was chaotic, but not overwhelming. Everyone seems to be mindful of their volume. No particular player was too loud or obnoxious. The cacophony created by these musicians all blended together and created something of a white background noise. I'm not finding any of this bothersome. As a matter of fact, it's quite comforting. I approach April and Pat mid-conversation. I overhear their discourse. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Tresem Guy. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!